when UT gets caught because they're a bunch of, prima donnas and all that. So come on with all that, like you
It's
have
almost
all
every
season.
week, dude. It's almost
Huh?
every dude. If y'all
Almost
look at
only
y'all's
counts
fucking
abortion
schedule,
hand grenade,
oh
motherfucker.
god,
That's it.
Last week
Fucking
wasn't even. Last week was not even.
fanboys,
Last week was not even
fanboys.
close.
y'all are like me with the Texans, man. Y'all are like me with the fucking Texans.
No.
Only see good.
All the Texas haters, they just don't want to finally admit that Texas is a good team for once.
Texas is a scrappy fucking team.
Welcome, sports fans, to your favorite podcast out there, the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. I'm your host, Rowdy, and joined by always my co-host, Big Boy and Coop. How we doing?
Hello.
Hey, ready to start talking smack about these championship games here.
Man, it was a weekend. We talked about it, on the Tuesday show, but I'm ready for this weekend. That what could have, should have, didn't happen, but I'm ready for this week.
It's a big week. Like they said, if you missed Tuesday's episode, we had special guest Eric Henry from Horns 24/7 on, giving us all the Texas rundown playoff talk that you need. Make sure to tune into that if you missed that. And of course, we hope you enjoyed last week's episode as well. But we got a jam-packed episode for you. We got, like the boys already mentioned, playoff talk. We're going to give you our little pick recap from last weekend. Of course, our special guest picker coming on at the end of the show. And we got a special guest appearance. If you may know him, Jinx is going to be coming back on to talk some transfer portal in Texas football, because he still is holding that NCAA record, and technically no one can beat his record anymore.
Yeah, no one can now. Yeah,
unless this week they go 10-0. Our special guest picker Reed, he'll be joining us later on.
12.
Well, he won 12, but I'm just saying, like, if he goes 100%, like 10-0, like. So, but with that being said, let's look how the guys did last week, and we already know who took home the reins, but let's let everyone else see.
King Coop did again on college.
I don't know about that.
On college, I definitely took home the crown once again.
Just for that, we'll show the NFL first, where I absolutely just smashed it.
11-4, pretty good.
Hey, it's not bad having your first victory.
Yeah, I remember my first beer. So that's okay.
Proud of you on that.
Hey, and it worked out. I finally bet real money in real life with it and won some money off of it. So
there you go.
Hit a nice 5-team parlay with it.
Congrats.
So we'll take it. But now over to the college ranks.
Let's see it.
Coop, barely one pick wonder right there.
I'll take it.
Coop may be the luckiest picker there is.
Luckiest, yeah. You can't be lucky every week. Come on.
Well, just remember, I always jump on the sword for the Horns. Because my bad luck, I don't want rubbing off.
Yeah, big boy, you picked Tech last week. What? Come on.
And we'll see who he's on later. But like we talked about, the guest picker, here are those records. Jinx still, just no one even in the double digits over there. And then Kobe still NFL, no one in the double digits over there. But I think now I've tied Kobe for the highest NFL between all of us. So, but
you were 11-3-1, right?
No, I think it finished. It was 11-4 because our Eagles line was 3.5, not 3. So I got screwed there. But with that being said, Jinx is going to be joining us in a couple minutes. What are our thoughts? We talked about it with Eric. Texas matchup going into this weekend. Quick thoughts. How are we feeling? Anything changed over the last 2 days?
Good.
Sark's going to show who the real Big 12 coach is of the year, and he's going to go get that done.
And it scares me because, I really feel good about this. And so that's what scares the shit out of me because – I haven't felt like that really all year, and they've been doing good. So, but
yeah, for sure.
We'll find out.
Here he is.
What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Is my voice quality good?
You're good,
Yeah.
Jinx.
Okay, let's go. What's up?
Jinx is here, rocking the Bobcats.
You see it. The Sports Roundtable Trio. I love it. Yeah. So, I mean, what are you guys talking about right now? Like,
We're
we get straight into it.
we were just talking about the Texas matchup this weekend and how the boys were still feeling. How are you feeling about
Okay.
it?
I mean, Texas matchup this weekend, in my opinion, Texas has to win this ball game. Whether they make it to the playoffs or not, I think it's a must-win for the fan base because at the end of the day, like you can't have an 11-1 season and then be like 11-2. It's just I think I don't think Texas fans are mad if they don't make the playoff. And that's kind of what, I had kind of like stirring. I feel like this like Texas team has always been a very like romantic team, right? We had we've had like our ups and downs with your Sam Ellinger and being like I think his season we were like 10-4 under Herman, right? And then you kind of go back to that 8-5, 7-3, and then Sark comes in, and then we have like a lot of trouble at first, and then we go back to our like typical Alamo Bowl Texas team, right? And so I just think overall Texas has had a very like romantic fan base, and especially how they've kind of moved as like a unit in like what that team's done to our fan base. Um, but I think now you have this 11-1, and I think just being able to cap it off with that Big 12 championship would mean. I mean, obviously you want like a national championship, but let's say Texas wins and then Florida State loses, and then we make like a playoff, and then we lose in that game. I think Texas fans are more hopeful in being able to say, "Oh, we got snubbed out of the playoff," because we've never been able to say that, right? We've never been able to have a true
Yeah.
argument of like, "Oh, like we should have been in that playoff game." So I think that's a really interesting aspect of I feel like we have to win this game. That way we can say that regardless of if we make the playoffs or not, just to be able to say, oh, Texas should have made the playoffs versus kind of like vice versa. It's always like, dude, but y'all lost 2 games. I was like, this will
I
this
just
will
want
give
that
us
Big
bragging
12
rights.
championship. They got to get another Big 12. They got to get the last one. I
Exactly.
mean, that's the most important thing to me in this whole
Absolutely.
thing. And,
Well, it all goes back to like finish. Sark
Exactly.
Sark has been saying all year that, and all of since he's been there, that he's been wanting a championship, and it's just it's just the aspect of finishing the job.
Yeah. And honestly, like me, I honestly personally don't really care about having a conference title, whatever. Obviously, you want to get to that playoff, and then you want to get to the national championship. That's where you want to be. But obviously, finishing the job is winning on Saturday, and that also kind of like takes me into my next point is that Quinn needs to leave. In my opinion, Quinn needs to go, and my reason being is that we're going into a new conference, right? And Quinn, you're going to go be the 15th pick, or like you're going to be first round, right? 20 pick, whatever you are, and go take your $20 million, right? And get out of Texas. Because I love you, Quinn. I love what you've done for us. But at the end of the day, we're going into a new conference, right? I don't see Texas really absolutely blowing doors next year. And that's just because, like, obviously you see the Big 12 and then you see the SEC. Those are just two very different conferences, right? And
That
especially,
schedule's
yeah, go
weak
ahead.
though. That schedule's weak next year compared to like the SEC
I
team. I
agree.
know it's still SEC, but the teams that they play next year, like their records this year, majority of them, besides of course like Georgia and the likes of those teams, like majority of them had under 500 seasons this year. So
I agree.
Besides Alabama, Georgia, and Missouri, who is there? Who are you
That-
gonna say is a badass team?
That's true. That's true. I understand that. I just think
LSU
from
is
my
pretty good.
aspect, like if you look at Texas, like look at the games that we have kind of like barely hung on to, right? In terms of your like Kansas State, Houston, right? Those teams compared to those like Missouri teams, the Missouris and like all of those kind of like bottom tier SEC teams, in my opinion, other than like freaking Vanderbilt, are actually blowing Houston out of the water in those teams. And so I don't think Texas has a hard time next year. I just think whatever time it has, it would just be like extending Quinn's career for no reason, in my like opinion. Or we can just say, okay, we're going into a new conference. We have a reason to like really struggle like a little bit. Let's let Arch really struggle and not sit again for like one more year. So I honestly think you run the risk of him leaving, and you also run the risk of a fan base that is getting upset because let's say Quinn comes out next year and the SEC lights him up and he's not doing well. Now it's like, okay, now what do we do with him now? Do we throw in Arch for the second half of the season now that it's not looking like we're going to win, or we're even going to make like a actual 12-team playoff? So I don't know. That's kind of a hot take.
Negative, man. I don't want to hear this shit.
I don't think it's negative. I just think it's like really realistic, and also to the aspect that I think Arch is the future. And also, I don't think Arch wants to have his first start be in his junior season. Because, I mean, sitting on that bench can definitely, I can imagine it can definitely be something that really plays a toll on you mentally when you're like, you just want to play ball, right? So, yeah, that's kind of my take on that.
One thing I don't agree with is you say, Quinn I think if Quinn goes out, he ain't going first round. I don't.
Really? You don't think so?
No. I think there's too many good quarterbacks in front of him. And I think that's why he won. I think if he could, he would go. But I don't think he'd be a first-round draft pick.
I think that if Texas makes it into the playoff and he plays, whether he wins the semifinal game or not, if he plays a great semifinal game, I think that puts him in the first round, especially because when you see a guy like a Caleb Williams and like those guys who kind of have showed that they're like a little bit fraudulent and that, they can't really handle the pressure, I think Quinn goes first round. But that kind of also takes me to like what the 12-team playoff like allows. Because Texas, we have a deep roster, right? You got Quinn, Malik, which, people are sleeping on him saying he's not good. And I kind of like agree. He's not the greatest, but also you look at the pressure of a situation that he was put into, and Quinn got to have his kind of like feel out year all last year. He got to throw 1,000 picks and still get put in the game. And, Malik's not getting that actual, like, that same sort of like love, which kind of comes with being number 2 or number 3. But I think with this 12 team next year, it allows for like a lot of the mid majors to have like a life, because are you going to put in 12-0 mid major team into that 12 team playoff if they've beaten like 2 Power 5 like opponents? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. What are you guys doing?
Well,
I think they would go.
There's automatically one. So the highest ranked mid-major it would be Power 4 now with Pac-12 gone, but it's the highest ranked non-Power 5 team automatically gets a spot. So this year right now would be Tulane, right? If they go and win this weekend, well, Tulane's 2 spots ahead of them. So that's the thing, is like Liberty would get screwed because they're not close to that number 12 range. So they won't get in because you have to be top 12, or it's really top 11, and then you get 1 spot for that mid-major. So, if you're a Power 5 team, you have to be in the top 11. If you're number 12, you're not getting in. Basically, so you either have to win your conference. So there could be say if like Oklahoma State won this weekend and they're number 17, they'd automatically be in, obviously. So it'll be interesting because instead of people arguing about who should be 4 and 5, like you're going to be arguing about who's 11, 12, 13, 14. And it's harder because more than likely those teams probably won't be in a conference championship game. Maybe one of them maybe will, and then they have to go upset a team to get in, or 2 of them aren't even playing. Like OU's number 12, right? They're not even playing in a conference championship. Ole Miss right in front of them, Penn State right in front of them. None of them are playing in a conference championship game. So that's how it's going to be interesting for me. It's like, I don't know how there can't be any movement there because they're not playing.
Yeah, like, do you move like a mid-major team, like a UTSA, for winning like a random conference? Are you putting them in front of Penn State, who has 3 losses but has a strengthened schedule, or like even maybe 2 losses? So no, that's like a great that's like a great aspect. But I think what the 12 does as well is like it allows for these mid majors to get real life recruits, right? It's where I would see like a Malik situation where he's like, okay, I'm not going to play here, right? Him saying, I can go to a UTSA, I can go to like a Tulane, right? And I'm going to start, and we're going to have a chance to go play against Texas and go play against Alabama, right, in like a 12-team playoff. So I think what it does is it like allows for these super teams to kind of like disintegrate. And I think slowly but surely, I don't think it's going to be right away, but over time, I think a lot of your 5-stars out of high school are going to realize, like, why would I go to Ohio State when I'm going to sit on the bench for the next 3 years and there's a bunch of other 5-stars coming? I want to go to this team that's kind of like on the rise. But then again, it's like, okay, does a second string quarterback like Malik, I'm sure he's getting at least 500 racks over at Texas right now. Does he say, okay, I'm going to put the money to the side, which $500,000 is life-changing money. And I'm assuming that if, Arch is making $3 million and then Quinn's making $3 million, that number 2 or 3 quarterbacks got to be making something, right? Yeah. So it's like, does he say, okay, I'm going to bet on myself and go to a mid-major and try to go put up freaking video game numbers in order to make it to the league? Or am I going to say, okay, I should just chill here, right, and just keep raking in my 500,000, see if I can maybe even maximize more? I think that's where the real dogs are going to have to come out. And that's why I think NIL is going to start to like really put a tear into college football because of things like that in that situation, because you got kids actually making choices now really based on money versus on where am I going to get to go play.
Yeah. I mean, Kirk Herbstreit
I think
was
Malik's going to go somewhere big. I think he's going to go to a power.
I heard Ohio State.
Yeah, they already popped those. But my thing is there's so many quarterbacks already in the portal and it hasn't even technically opened yet till next week. And there's so many top dogs and there's so many more top dogs that are better than Malik when you have
that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Riley Leonard, you got Coastal Carolina's quarterback, you got DJ from Oregon State, you got the UCLA 5-star freshman this year. Like those are the dudes who are going to be going to Ohio State and
look, man,
Oregon and Notre Dame.
I personally believe you give Malik the reins and some time and some playing time, he can be as good as anybody. I mean,
exactly.
I think it's what you want,
And then, I mean, Matt Rule just had a conference thing, and I was listening to it, and he made a point that we were talking about, and it's, a good quarterback in the transfer portal is costing $1, $2, $3 million for a school. So
that's the thing, and so it's like, does he, if like I'm him and I have a true like want to go to the NFL, which I'm sure that he does, I'm not taking any more risks because as a junior, you don't necessarily have the time to take that chance anymore, right? Because if you're a 6th-year quarterback, I don't think you're a high favorite for the draft, right? I think a lot of people are like, you're a little bit older, you're whatever. So I think for him, it's like he needs to go somewhere he knows that not only is he going to play, but it's not, oh, you're going to play with like 3 5-stars right behind you, ready to like take you out immediately, right? So I think it's a tough situation.
And that's the thing too, is like for high school ranks, for high school quarterbacks, I mean, it's going to start killing because like you'll have teams like Notre Dame, they don't even care about taking a high school quarterback anymore. I mean, they got Sam Hartman last year and they're already favorites to get Riley Leonard from Duke. So like they're not even bringing in high school dudes anymore. They're just going to keep bringing in a transfer quarterback for 1 year, 2 years, maybe. So, I mean, it's definitely changing and hopefully will allow some of these other Group of 5 or Missouris of the world or not Penn State, but like Michigan States of the world to get back to par with all these other high teams.
Michigan State just lost 3 quarterbacks.
I know, but
really?
I saw them going in the portal.
I saw they're talking about a DJ maybe going there with his coach.
Really?
Yeah. So
That's,
I mean,
does Oregon State even have a conference to go to next year?
So Oregon State and who was it? Washington State.
Washington State, yeah.
No, Oregon State. Yeah, it's Oregon State and Washington State. They signed like a 2-year deal with the Mountain West to like play some of their conference opponents in there. So they're like half their schedules with the Mountain West and the other half of their schedules just like with whatever schools want them as a non-conference game. So I mean that's why no one wants to go there. I mean that's why that Oregon State coach left. You don't leave Oregon State top 15 to go to Michigan, dooms down Michigan State. But there's no conference. You're not going to be able to recruit anybody over there. It's like,
so who are they going to play? How many teams are in there now?
So it's just a 2.
I saw that they didn't even have a schedule. Like,
they haven't came out with it yet because they just agreed to play with those Mountain West teams. So like they're playing I don't know how many games it is that they're playing Mountain West schools like Boise State,
like San Diego State.
and like
Yeah,
Boise
that's
State,
terrible.
yeah, like all those teams out there. But then obviously they'll have their non-conference game or other schools non-conference games, I guess you could say, that go out and play them. I mean, like A&M's playing Notre Dame, the first game of the season. That's gonna be awesome. Riley Leonard goes there, plays his old coach, first game of the season, shoves it right up his ass. That's gonna be great, but we'll see.
Yeah, and like kind of to move on to like a separate topic, just like a little bit in like terms of Pac-12 playing those Mountain West teams, right? Those are obviously like worse opponents, and I know y'all are gonna absolutely hate this take, but I would not be shocked, right? And I know no one likes Colorado, right? However, listen to this. Listen to this. If he gets his edge right and his like interior O-line right and he plays right, because I mean, now are you calling the Pac-12 like a mid-major team or no?
Yeah, I mean,
They're Big 12.
because
So that's a Power 5
Colorado's
still.
Yeah, they're Big 12.
Colorado's going to the Big 12 this coming year.
Oh, they're going Big 12.
Yeah, no, there's no Pac-12 anymore. That's why Oregon State and Washington State are playing with these Mountain West schools. It's like Arizona State, Arizona, Colorado, they're all going Big 12.
Oh yeah, never mind then. That was a horrible take. I got Dion horrible. Yeah.
But we'll see.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll see what happens. But
Dion's losing a lot of recruits.
Yeah.
He lost 2 quarterbacks. What, a cornerback? Or
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Jinx, we'll be bringing you on more than likely for a full pod. You still hold that record, unless guest picker Reed's able to take over from you tonight. But appreciate you joining us for a little bit.
Of course. All right, boys, take it easy.
Thanks,
We'll
Jinx.
see it.
Yep.
Kobe,
Hey, Dork,
what time is it?
you're muted.
What's up, boys?
Kobe's locks of the weekend. How are we doing? We missed you last week, man.
I know, man. Just had a lot. Had a trip to Seattle, and just we were sick, and just all that, man. So yeah.
Speaking of Seattle, that Washington team is gonna kick that ass against Oregon this week.
I don't know if they win, man, but they're on my list. So
Everyone, I've been having. I got to talk about this now. Every freaking thing I've seen has Oregon going to the college football playoff, right? That's just like that's mind blowing to me. That I guess you would rather lose in the freaking earlier in the season because I don't know. It's mind blowing to me, Co. It's mind blowing to me.
I don't think it's that crazy, dude. I mean, they're
it is
a pretty good.
Yeah, they're good, but like it's like they already lost to Washington. Like, why is everyone having them?
Then what? Right, but then why are they favored?
Exactly, and not only favored, Co, but favored to win by double digits.
Exactly,
The line's like 9.5.
I have Washington on that game, and hearing you say that makes me want to switch sides. So
no, that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Speaking of those picks, let's throw them up there for you right now.
All right.
We know you're gonna have some interesting ones here.
Man, for pro, I love the Titans. Seems like every time the Titans and Colts play in a game like this, that's not important. Although for the Colts, man, I think there's 6 and 5, so it's a pretty important one. So I just think it's that week where they kind of shit the bed. Jets +2, like the Jets here a lot. I get why they're dogs, but I just don't think Atlanta is that good, man. So I'll take the Jets there. San Fran, this line was very strange to me. I get them being a favorite, but 3-point favorites on the road against the Eagles, who are 10-1, I believe. So
yep.
I think that's a sign. I think San Francisco just beats the shit out of them. And then for my last one, Love the Texans, dude. We're coming off a loss.
Big boy
You
shaking
got
his head.
Huh?
Russ is about to cook. Russ
said-
is cooking. Y'all
Big boy shaking his head.
Hey man, I picked him up in fantasy as a backup option. He's playing good, dude.
Hey, if
he's
they
playing
turn it
good.
around, I mean, that's the coaching job of the century, man.
I mean, they've won what, 6 straight? So I mean,
Yeah.
they've turned it around, I would
Yeah.
say, but
Bro, where do you see your
That's
Texans
why-
finishing?
hold on a second.
All right.
That's why though I love this game. Because the Broncos have won. It's either 6 straight or 5 straight. Either way, won 5 straight and they're 3-point dogs. I'll take the Texans, man. Speaking of the Texans, I tried saying this to all y'all. Scrappy teams find ways to win, and we find ways to win. I get we lost to the Jags last week. Tough loss. If we had our kicker, we would have won that game. Terrible calls by the refs too, dude. Awful. I
Here we
think the
go.
Texans, realistically,
Here we
What, we're
fucking
sick-
go.
we're 6-5 right now, right?
Yes.
6-5, man. I believe we realistically finish at like a 9-8, maybe
Make the playoffs.
sneak in with a 9-8 record. But if you get a win at the end of the season, make it 10-7. That's massive, dude. It would be huge. But I don't know, man. I've got hopes, but I saw last week if we had beaten the Jags, we had like a 68% chance for the playoffs. And if we had lost the Jags, it was like a 31. So,
But those darn
I-
referees, huh?
dude, it was bad,
No,
man.
it was bad. No,
There you
it
go.
was
It was
it was
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
It was
It was
bad.
actually bad.
Almost as bad as the Cowboys. But yeah, I'll take Washington, dude. I love Washington to start it off there. Or actually, I loved them until
No, that's
Cooper
a
had
great
to
pick,
say
Cobb.
about
Hey,
I mean,
there.
that is a great
Jump
pick.
on it. Put everything on it. That's a lock.
Yeah.
That's a
Great
lot.
pick, Cobb.
See, man, but I hate picks like this because you would think that's a lock, man, because they beat them. There's no reason that they're big dogs like this. And then that team usually comes out and gets fucking
I just think that's too many points. I think
wait.
I think Oregon's gonna win. I just think
Wait.
they're not gonna win by 10.
backdoor. Penix is gonna go off. I mean, he's gonna do his thing.
He
He's
sucked
still
the
winning the
last 3
Heisman.
games.
This is his
You're-
Heisman game right here.
He's
Hey,
not winning
boys.
it. You're insane.
This is his Heisman game. He's going
No,
off,
he has
beating
no
Bo
chance.
Nix once again. He's gonna beat
What-
Bo Nix not once
what
but
are-
twice.
what are the odds right now?
For Heisman.
Yeah.
I don't know what
It's
he is.
Bo Nix is like minus 125. Jalen Daniels is like plus 130, and Penix is like plus 1500. It's a 2-man
Oh,
race.
really?
It's a
Yeah,
2-man
it's-
race.
I
I
think
thi-
Jalen Daniels. I like Jalen.
How?
Jalen-
How? If he beats Bo Nix
Listen.
twice,
Because
That-
look at his stats. The last 3
Because it's-
games, Penix.
Cooper,
Um,
because it's
it-
stats, man.
Yeah,
I know, but
listen.
and he's winning. He's
No.
winning.
His completion percentage is like around 50% his last 3 games. Like that's not going to win you the Heisman.
He
His
should have
stat,
lost to Washington State.
Yeah.
That would have helped.
his stats compared, bro. Jalen Daniels' numbers every single category
Okay,
is
what
better
has
than
LSU
Joe Burrow.
done? What has LSU done?
I mean, they're 9-3.
Okay.
What
Where
does
are
it
they
matter?
at in their conference
It's not.
championship
It's
game?
not a. It's not a.
there.
It's not a team trophy.
You got
Should
it. You
be.
it's you make your
It
team
should
better.
be.
Well, bro,
It
if
should be a team trophy.
listen, if
Cooper,
if you're 9-3,
you're
you're
like
still
one of them.
still a good team.
Not good enough to go to the conference championship.
Listen, Bo Nix is better than Michael Penix. So
Oh
there's
well, not the first game. Who won that
because
game?
Oregon missed a field goal.
I
Hold
don't
on.
care. Get him closer.
Hold on a second. Who's gonna get drafted first?
Huh? Huh?
Who's gonna get drafted first?
Between Penix and Nix.
Yeah.
Bo Nix. 100%.
Nope. Watch.
Over
Watch.
Penix, you think?
I'm telling you, he's that QB all the teams are going to fall in love with. Watch. I guarantee it.
Probably, but Kirk was talking about it today. Bo Nix is more of like that system. Like he needs to go to the right system, and if like how Brock Purdy is, like if he goes to the right system, he's gonna be
Brock Purdy.
He's gonna be way
He's
better.
also 30 years old playing college football. So
he's been playing a long time.
Coop, you don't even know where where did Penix even come from before Washington? You don't even know.
No,
exactly.
Matter,
you don't know.
It don't matter.
That's crazy that I know it and I don't even really watch college, Cooper. That's sad, dude.
I didn't watch him before Washington.
Penix is an old dude too. So
baby.
Not he's not as long as freaking Bo.
Hoosiers.
Yeah, he played at Indiana. Cool. Indiana.
Well, cool. Awesome. And he's gonna beat Bo Nix for a second time to make a statement. So
I will say this. I was just in Seattle, okay? And I was staying literally, I would say, 5 blocks away from the school. Like, I was in the school district. There was all the school buildings. I was right next to the stadium. I saw all the people walking there to the game on Saturday. I get they barely beat State, man, but I can tell that town loves those Huskies, dude. So, I don't know. And we flew to Las Vegas after, and the whole plane was filled with Washington fans packing to go to the game in Vegas. I'm just saying, man. Home field, baby.
Chill, Dak. Oh.
There you go. All right, go on to your Bama pick, Coop.
No, he almost ran it in for a touchdown.
But, man, after that one, I like Bama here. I love Bama here. I get Georgia's really good, but I think Bama is really good. I get they're not as good as they always are. So you think that they're not that good, but Alabama's still a really good team, man. And they find ways to win. I think that QB is really good. I think they beat Georgia here, dude. I think they win and they get in the playoffs, and whoever Bama has a problem or who they face in the playoffs is going to have a problem, man, because I think Bama's going to be really freaking good here. Louisville, dude, I don't understand this line. Didn't Louisville just lose?
Lost to Kentucky.
Okay.
Which I was on that money line, Kentucky, by the way. Just so
I mean, I could have told you that one, too.
Yeah, but it didn't win you anything because your other parlay sucked. So
no, it's because Bama missed. So screw off.
I could have told you about that one, man. I would have had Kentucky there, but Louisville, dude, 1.5 dogs against Florida State, and Florida State's a really good team, and they're 12-0. So, and they just lost. I mean, I think that's the people who
it's only 1.5 because they don't have a quarterback.
Who?
Florida State.
Oh,
broke his leg.
Travis, right?
Yeah. But they could barely even win against freaking Florida.
Dude, they're still a 12-0 team. So
they're good defense. Yeah, we're gonna see.
They're still a 12-0 team, and they're playing a team who just lost against unranked Kentucky. I think that's a bad look. So
who's now the head coach at Texas A&M, or was going to be the head coach at Texas A&M.
I think they ended up
Duke's guy, Mike
Elko.
Yeah.
And then, man,
of course.
Here we go.
Let the hate fucking begin. Let's go. Let's hear
Clap it up.
Let's hear it all year. Every time. Let's hear it. Come on.
Clap it up. Clap it up, dude. You know Oklahoma State's a pretty not good, but a pretty scrappy team, Ryan.
Okay.
Scrappy, right?
Covering, but then you're going to say they're going to win outright, and this is my game when UT gets caught because they're a bunch of, prima donnas and all that. So come on with all that. Like you have all season.
Every week, dude. It's almost every dude. If
almost only counts in portions of hand grenade,
God.
That's it.
Last week was not even close.
Y'all are like me with the Texans, man. Y'all like me with the fucking Texans.
No.
Only see
all the Texas haters, they just don't want to finally admit that Texas is a good team for once.
Texas is a scrappy fucking team. Too.
Brothers, I'm not saying that y'all aren't good, but 15.5 points against
I think
Oklahoma State.
But I don't know.
Because they saw what happened last week. That line was 17, and they won by fucking 50.
Hey, dude, I ain't saying shit about Oklahoma State to win outright, which they will, but I'm not saying shit about it. I'm just saying.
No, I was waiting
going
for that
to
part.
cover that 15.5.
Okay.
That's way too many points, dude.
They're in a conference championship. I mean, they should be able to cover 2 touchdowns plus. But
yeah, that's the biggest spread since 2009 in a Big 12 championship.
Why the hell is that spread so big?
Because Texas are dogs, and they're about to go out there and light.
And because Texas has to put on a show to get in to the playoff. They're not letting off no shit. They're winning by fucking 50 again. Ooh, that's why.
What are y'all ranked right now?
7. Texas gets in if they win and Louisville wins.
I do think we can get on this, but I do think if Bama wins, they might try to screw Texas, even though Texas beat them.
Oh, yeah, but let's just ignore the 10-point win in Tuscaloosa.
They will.
Yeah, let's just not think about the biggest win.
That scares me. If Bama does win, I think 2 SEC teams make it, and Florida State might go undefeated and get out if that happens. If they win.
I don't. If Florida State loses and Alabama wins, then I could see it where Texas gets screwed at the 5 and they put Bama and Georgia in. But if Florida State wins, only one SEC is getting in. It doesn't matter. I mean, they're not gonna put in a 14-0 team who's a conference champ. They just can't do that. They just can't do that. I mean, maybe next year they move them to like the 5 seed since they're already in either way. But if you're 14-0, you're getting in.
It wouldn't be 14-0.
Well, what 13-0? I mean,
but hey, man, this committee don't care, dude. That's SEC. That's Nick Saban.
But my thing is, if it was SEC this whole time, and I saw it today, like they would have had Bama ranked above Oregon and Texas this whole time. Like if it was true SEC shit.
They just can't yet because they don't have to.
I mean, they could have.
I don't know, man. We should have been above Oregon, I think, the whole time. So if you look at the numbers, besides his passing stats, why isn't Texas above Oregon? Because in every other category, strength of schedule, all that, we have more ranked wins, all that. So
I feel like I can answer that one because Oregon, when they play games, they don't let off the fucking gas and they beat the shit out of teams really bad. And y'all screw around with BYU and Iowa State and just teams that y'all should be beating the shit out of by a lot of points, y'all don't. And that looks really bad. So a team like Oregon, who has no problem with anyone.
It plays nobody.
I said this in the past podcast. They have one opponent they have one opponent in common. Texas Tech. Oregon beat Tech by 8 points. Texas beat Tech by 50.
I wouldn't really go off of that, man, because I still think if y'all played Oregon, they would beat the fuck out of y'all.
Well, hopefully we find out.
Oh no, I want y'all to make the playoffs.
I do.
I want to finally see if Texas is the real deal, and I can shut up, just be quiet about it and accept it, or I want y'all to accept it and shut up.
I'll never shut up. Hey, what about your Hawkeyes?
He said, all right, we lost Kobe there. He'll be joining us here again in a little bit with his continuingness of hatred towards the Horns, and we got some more coming for him. But joining us here in the next minute or so is our guest picker of the week, Reed. We bring on these guest pickers every week. This is the last college games we got, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that these are our last college games to pick on until maybe that December 29th, where all the games line up, because there won't really be very many games lining up after this weekend. But we're going to be bringing him on.
He should be joining us any second now. But while we wait for him, I know Kobe gets Big Boy fired up. I love it.
It's just the hate about UT, and that's cool. I get it. But no matter what people want to say, everybody in the conference has been targeting Texas this year and Oklahoma. And you know what? The only team to beat Texas is Oklahoma. Okay, so I understand all this. They're not winning by enough. Everybody's Super Bowl was to beat Texas, and they haven't. Only Oklahoma did, and that's every year when they play. So it's Texas is a good team, and I don't care what nobody says. They're tough. I mean, I'm ready. I put them up against anybody. Let's go.
There you go.
No doubt. What up, Reed? We can't hear you.
Working on it.
There you
There
go.
you go.
We got you.
Oh, there we go. We're good.
We got
Yeah.
you. All right.
Sweet.
Joining us now is Reed, our guest picker of the weekend. How are we doing?
Doing good. Doing good. How are y'all?
Good. It's a sweet mustache, man. I like it.
Appreciate it. Been working on it.
There you go, man. I like it. Respect.
Well, to start off, obviously it's a little less college games than what the usual, but we'll start off with college and then we'll roll over into the NFL. Top NFL record now is 11-4. So if you can beat that, then you'll be holding the championship. Jinx has college at 12-3. So if you can go
Nice.
10-0, then we'll give you that crown too. But
Let's do it.
we'll start off with the college picks. All right, so we'll start off with that New Mexico State plus 10.5 versus Liberty.
We going to me first? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just going
Just you.
straight. Yeah, we're just going
Just
straight
me?
to this one. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. New Mexico State plus 10.5.
All right, like it. All right, then we got tomorrow night, Oregon minus 9.5 versus Washington.
Going Washington plus 9.5.
Like the Huskies.
Yep.
All right. Then we got Oklahoma State plus 15.5 versus Texas.
Going with the
Be careful.
Cowboys.
Be careful.
Going
here.
with the
Oh, gosh.
Cowboys. 15.5.
So just so y'all know, Reed is a Texas Tech fan, and he thought
Yeah.
Texas Tech would cover last week too. So
I did. That was a tough one.
Take what you want-
Sit through
what
that
you
whole
want from
game.
that.
It was tough.
But next one we got Miami, Ohio plus 8 versus Toledo.
Rolling with Toledo here, -8.
All right. Then we got Boise State minus 2.5 versus UNLV.
Going with the Broncos. Boise State.
All right. We got the SEC matchup. We got Georgia -6 versus Alabama.
Georgia -6.
Georgia.
Back-to-back defending champs. Reed's going with.
That's what. Yep.
He likes it. He likes them. All right. We got SMU plus 3.5 versus Tulane.
I think Pony up.
Pony up.
SMU.
Gonna win the conference ship. All right. We got App State plus 6 versus Troy.
Going Troy -6.
All right. Michigan minus 21.5 versus the Hawkeyes.
A lot of points, but Wolverines.
All right. Is Michigan or is Iowa going to score a touchdown?
I don't think so.
All right. Last college game. Louisville plus 2.5 versus Florida State.
Louisville plus 2.5.
All right. Louisville it is. All right. That's
Need
the
them to
call.
win outright though. So it's
Oh yeah.
Yep, the Horns do need them to win outright. So there's the college picks. Now we'll roll over into these NFL picks coming up. All right, the first one, we got the game going on right now. Seahawks +9 versus the Cowboys. Who did you got? Who'd you have?
Seahawks +9. I don't know how that game's going right now though, but I haven't looked.
They're trying to get to halftime, and it's taking forever. The last minutes took like 20 minutes.
Cowboys are up 6 right now, I think. But
Okay.
All right. Next one, we got Chargers -6 versus the Patriots.
Chargers.
All right. Chargers it is. Cardinals +5.5 versus the Steelers.
Going Steelers -5.5.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All right. Who's your NFL team?
I haven't really had one. Just rooted for Mahomes the last couple years, just to win some Super Bowls.
of course.
But Jake and Kyle trying to get me to hop on the Texans now.
Got you on the
So
Texans.
rolling with Stroud and Tank Dell. I like them a lot.
There you go.
All right. We got Colts -1 versus the Titans.
Titans.
All right. You got Broncos versus your new team, the Texans. Broncos +3.5.
I did write down Broncos, but we'll go Texans.
Got to switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got Lions -4 versus the Saints.
I like the Lions.
All right. And by the way, the Seahawks just took the lead. DK Metcalf, another touchdown right before half. Oh, big boy.
Right.
I tried telling you when they play a team above 500, it may get ugly. No one wanted to listen to me, though.
Still a whole nother half. Shut up.
All right. We got the Falcons -3 versus the Jets.
Going with the Jets.
All right. Going with hopefully Aaron Rodgers in 3 weeks, Jets. All right. You got Dolphins -9.5 versus the Commanders.
Going Commanders +9.5.
All right. And you got the best team in the league, the Panthers, +5 versus the Bucks.
Going Bucks -5.
All right. So we probably got the game of the week. 49ers -3 against the Eagles at the Eagles.
I had Niners written down, but we'll go Eagles.
All right. Eagles it is. All right. Then we got the Browns +3.5 versus the Rams.
Browns.
All right. And then we got our Sunday night action. Chiefs -6 versus the Packers.
Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs.
There it is. And then lastly, the Monday night action, you got the Bengals +8 against the Jags.
Let's go. Burrow's not playing, is he? Right? He's out.
Nah, he's
done.
toast.
That's what he's done for, right? Okay. Yeah. We'll stick with the Jaguars -8.
All right. Jags it is. Well, those are Reed's picks of the weekend. We'll see how they line up. I will say
Let's go.
our guest pickers have not been too hot this year, man.
No.
We only have one guy in double digits on both sides. It hasn't been too hot.
Till this
That's
week.
what I was with Jake. Go ahead. Sorry.
Said till this week, right?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. I was with Jake after he came on, and so we were watching games, sweating those out. But I don't know.
Yeah,
How did he end up doing? Did he do good or no?
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think Jake did too good.
I can pull it up real quick. He finished at, where is it? NCAA, he was 9-6, not bad.
Well, that's good.
Pretty good.
That's good.
He does hold the worst NFL record, 2-11.
Yeah, I thought there was a 2 in there. Yeah.
Yikes.
But we appreciate you coming on, man. Hopefully they do you well. Hey, and
Yeah.
they always turn out to do good whenever you actually bet real money on them. So yeah, actually go sprinkle a little bit of money on them for you.
Sprinkle a little bit. I try to stay away, but I may have to this week. May have to ride.
You got it. But
All
we
right.
appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate you
Reed.
having me.
Hey, Ray.
Yes, sir. We'll see you.
See ya.
All right. That was Reed, our guest picker of the week.
He
Coming
was
to
getting
you.
some work in, huh? He still play baseball, I guess?
No, he's coaching.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, he kind of runs that deal down there, coaching and lessons and stuff. So
Cool.
just got straight off the cage. That's how we like it. You know, those picks will probably hit big now. Straight off the
Yeah,
cage.
yeah. He had a little adrenaline going from hitting home runs and shit.
That's what we do on the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. Come on now. That's what we do. But
and by the way, I'm looking at Iowa's record here. And Iowa, who they played. Listen, man. They played one team, and that's Penn State, and they got beat 31-0.
It was bad.
Literally, they played no one else. So bring that goofy motherfucker back on here.
I was about to tell you, I was sending him the code to join, and he says, "Never mind, dude. I gotta feed the son. He's being a little douche." So he is not. I get it.
He got daddy duty, but
he's got daddy duty. So we can just talk. We can talk shit about his Hawkeyes with him not here. How about that?
There's nothing. Their defense is good, but that offense, like I said, what if they just come out and like 2 pick sixes and return a punt and just hold Michigan? That's the only chance they really got, right? I mean, they would have to score on special teams and defense and just.
Yeah, I mean, they got to force a turnover inside the 50-yard line, so maybe they can kick some field goals. But the only good thing is their punter's good. So, and their defense.
Punter's great. He has a lot of practice.
And
a lot of practice.
And their defense is not too bad either.
Defense is good.
So if he can be on his shit and pin them down inside the 10, then they may be able to hold them out for a little bit. Hopefully get the ball on their side of the field. But I mean,
they have to have a pick six or a fumble, a couple of them, and like I said, punt return or something.
I think we all were on the Hawkeyes covering, though, if I can remember.
I know, and I am totally scared of that. I was thinking about
I just think it's because over under. I'm trying to remember what it is. I mean, it's low. It's like 30, and they're 21-point favorites. So
because they think Iowa's going to score 0.
I know. So they just think it's going to. But my thing is, I mean, Michigan's only going to score 28. So, I mean, you'd think Iowa's going to score at least 10. I would hope. We'll see.
They could barely score a touchdown versus Nebraska. So
yeah, they play baseball over there. That's a baseball school.
Hey, tell me how clean this new pullover I got is. Good, baby.
It's a lot better than what I saw.
Is it baby blue? What color?
Yeah,
is
it's baby blue with the little hood.
Oh, I like that.
Bro, it's the softest shit I've ever worn in my life. It's so sweet.
They got big boy sizes?
I'm sure. Got it for the 2-year anniversary yesterday, so I'm not sure. But
oh, sweet.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
let's
it.
Go back to this Georgia Alabama game. Are y'all both on Alabama or
no?
I'm on Bama.
I'm on Georgia.
See, guys, I was on Bama for a while. Like ever since I knew Bama was getting in, I was on Bama. Thinking, man, Georgia back-to-back natty champions.
But you can't. That's one thing that I don't like either, and it's how it happens. We're gonna think about what happened, years back, but that shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't matter.
No, they haven't lost the game in I don't even know how long.
I mean, you can't put them in just because they're the defending champs.
No, I'm not saying to put them in. I'm not talking about the playoffs. I'm just talking about that game.
They're winners. Yeah.
Well,
I'm just saying they haven't lost a game. You can't.
You're on Georgia.
And ignore that. What?
I said you're on Georgia.
Yeah, I know. I flipped to Georgia. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, here are our picks of the weekend of the small championship weekend slate. All kind of similar. We got a few outliers in there.
Do we have locks?
Yeah. Who do we got? Who do we got for the locks, Coop? Who you got?
I got one lock, and I've said my piece about it, and it's Washington to win outright. Not even to cover. I'm taking Washington to win outright. I think Penix going off. I don't know. I don't know why. Are you going to
sprinkle some money on that money line for Washington?
No, because I told you last week that I was done if I didn't hit that parlay. I went 2 for 3. I needed Florida to beat Florida State, and a targeting call knocked that out of my.
Well, and it was a sad day too when you bet $45 on it, and they were offering you $150 cash out at halftime, and he didn't take it.
Right. I mean, greed. It's a greedy thing.
Hey, you got to go with it, man. You got to roll the dice sometimes,
Yeah.
man.
So
Are we playing or are we not? Yeah.
exactly.
I also got Washington plus. I don't know if they're going to win outright, but I do like it to be closer than 9.5. And also, I have Bama plus 6 as a lock.
I hope. Like, there's been mixed emotions, like we talked about, like from national media, and like, should Bama win? Does Texas want Bama to win, or does Texas want Georgia to win? Because like
I
Bama win,
think
because like
Texas wants to.
obviously like Bama wins though, like your win even looks better because like that's showing like damn, like you could go and beat Georgia, like you beat Alabama in Alabama, so that's that point there. But then if Alabama does win, you get to the scenario. If Louisville wins too, you could get screwed because they could put Georgia
put
and
both of them
Bama
in.
in.
Right.
So
And
I think for
honestly,
Texas fans, you just want Georgia to win, man.
That kind of worries me. Even though we did go to Tuscaloosa and win by 10,
I think
just think
if Georgia can just beat Bama by less than 10 points, beat them by less than what Texas beat them, that could show some recognition too, because you go beat Bama at a neutral site by less than what Texas beat Bama at their home field.
and
So
all people are going to say is that was the second game of the year. Their quarterback was brand new, and if they're just that's all they're going to say.
So they can say that, but then Florida State beat LSU game 1 of the year, and that's what people want to ride on Florida State. So I mean, you got to have like you can't just say, "Oh,
Florida State's undefeated." So
yeah, I mean, I agree, but their only one good win is against LSU week 1. That's the thing. It's like their conference is worse than the Big 12, so that's why that argument comes in. But my locks, I don't really see. I want to make a 10-team parlay this weekend, guys, just because whatever. It's like plus 64,000 odds. I told Coop if I hit this player prop Cowboys one I got tonight to win like $2,000, then I'll bet $100 on it to win 64 grand. But these group of 5 ones are hard. Toledo, Miami, Ohio.
You have never watched a freaking Toledo game.
I haven't, but I looked into it. I'm gonna go Miami, Ohio as my lock with points. They played earlier in the year.
Miami, Ohio.
Listen, Toledo won by 4 earlier in the year at Toledo, right? So it's hard to beat a team twice with that amount of points. I'm gonna take Miami, Ohio, man.
All right.
So we'll see. That's who I'm going. That's who I'm going for my NCAA lock. And then of
I
course,
haven't watched 1 second of either one of them. So
I haven't either. I
just said fuck it, Toledo.
Yeah.
But the Horns I like as well. I said last week they're going to cover by more than 21. Same thing this week. I don't
want to put it out there or on paper really because I've been kind of good with this betting against them.
Yeah,
man, I got a feeling they're going to go in there and just fucking smoke them.
I already told Coop I want to go with the adjusted line, and give what I say, Coop
17.
No, like 20. I was talking like in the 20s, some crazy shit. Because like even 21 is only like plus like 150. Like it's nothing crazy. So I may parlay that with like the over, go over. Texas score 50 again and be way over.
I think just like everybody, like Kobe on this show and all that, the disrespect is there, and it's this is not our Texas team we're used to. I really believe that, man. I believe they're tough.
You can't like you still want to talk shit about them now, but if they go and win the Big 12 and just find their way into the playoff, like. And even if they lose in the semis, there's no more talking shit about Texas.
Well, that's like what Jinx was saying. Like, no, if they get in there, like, if it hopefully, I mean, if it holds up, their run, it plays into Georgia. Like, try to run the ball.
No.
And we're going to see what sweat really is against all these big, bad SEC linemen.
Well, and Michigan, too. I love Texas matched up against Michigan. But just because, and we'll see this weekend, if Texas can really stop a very good running back in Ollie Gordon, right? Michigan, very good running backs. Georgia, very good running backs. Like, they match up well against those teams.
The difference is they have better line than Texas Tech or OSU.
Correct. But I just think if they can really stop that run, and I think they match up well against Michigan, obviously
I don't know how the offense would match up against Michigan's defense, but it would definitely be a low scoring game. Probably like
I
that
think they
Ohio
match
State,
up better
Michigan.
than Michigan than they
You
would
give
Ohio
Sark
State.
3 weeks. I think whoever they play, if they do make it, whoever they play in the semifinal game,
Which will more likely be Georgia unless they
yeah,
lose.
you give
So.
Sark 3 weeks, man. The dude he's an offensive genius, man. Like,
Yeah,
bring
no,
it.
I agree. I mean, I hope Louisville wins and Texas wins and they put them in. I mean, I love to see it with.
Man,
I mean, let them go play those schools. I mean, that's who they're about to go play next year. So let's see if they got Georgia at home
that's who
next
they
year.
beat by 10 at home, which no one has in how many years. And
Yeah,
but that don't matter, right?
Well, we'll get back to that. Going over to the NFL, here are our picks of the weekend. We were all on the boys. I went against myself, man. I bet on the
I
boys
messed it up. If they lose, it's my fault
because you went with them. But
Dak knows. Yeah.
Last week I talked about how the boys were a little too crazy right now. And I told you, be careful, Cowboys fans, with when you play a team above 500, and it's happening now at Jerry's World. But I'd still pick the Cowboys because they did win me a player prop parlay last week to keep the betting hopes alive. So, of course, I went with them. But who do you got for your lock?
My one lock, we all three picked them. They're facing the worst team in the league, the Bucks. I think they destroy I think they destroy the Panthers. And the line was like -5 or something, -5.5, something like that. So I'm taking the Bucks there.
No juice because they got rid of the coach.
Nah.
My lock are the Eagles +3 and the Titans +1. I agree with Cobe on that.
See, the only thing about the Eagles is why are they getting points at home?
At home, it is weird.
It is weird,
I
but
don't know.
they just find ways to win, man. I mean,
They do. I like the Eagles. I like
not
It's
only
gonna be a
us-
physical game, man.
I wish it was the night game.
Physical game.
I wish it was a night game, but whatever.
Yeah.
Night game in Philly.
But I only
against
went with the
49ers.
49ers there because the Eagles are dogs at home. So pretty interesting.
Y'all both
Home
went with the
dogs.
Y'all both went with the Bengals too. I thought that was interesting when I saw that. But locks, I'm gonna go Dolphins. I think that line's. I think it was 9.5. I believe. I just think it's too low. Kind of like last week when they played the Raiders. Too low. So that's my lock. I like the Colts, man. Zach Moss is back. Jonathan Taylor out. Could see some running game there. We'll see. Cowboys starting second half right now, down 1 point. We'll see what happens there. You don't want them to lose. But looking else around the college football world, we kind of talked about most of the championships, right? How are we really feeling about what's the one? Obviously, we talked about Washington and Oregon. We got our picks there. We talked about Texas, Oklahoma State. We talked about Michigan and Iowa. What do we really think about Louisville and Florida State, though? Like, I know we've all picked Louisville, and it's because is it just because the quarterback's out, or is it because we just want them for Texas? Like, what's the main reason?
Well, I mean, it's both of those. There's definitely some, wanting them to lose, but you also got to look at, they go play Florida at the Swamp. Florida's freaking terrible. I mean, Florida is so bad this year, so bad. And if it wasn't for a freaking stupid targeting play, that game, I don't know. I'm not going to say Florida State loses that game, but it's definitely way closer. So I don't know. I think they struggled against Florida, and I don't know.
Boys, I'm going to say right now, it's probably going to jinx it, but my $2,000 one, not looking too tight. It was a 10-legger. It's not looking good. But I did put in a 5-leg to go with it. $5 to win 150. Brandon Cooks to score a touchdown. Check. Brandon Cooks over 42.5 at 42.
Jackson Smith, 43. I think he's at like 40. He just got another catch, so he may be over it. Tony Pollard over 21 receiving at 18. And then Zach Charbonnet over 3.5 receptions at 2.
Guys, don't be like Kate. He has a problem. We
He
don't
needs to call that
condone
number on the
gambling
back of the
as
lotto
much.
tickets, I think.
Listen, I told you I was about to be done. I was about to be out of money. And then the Cowboys wanted to give me hope. And then I felt like having the best weekend of NFL of my
That's
life
sports betting
and
for
hitting
you.
that parlay.
It sucks you right back in.
And also, this is bad too. This is really bad. But I went on a college basketball parlay, 3-teamer that I got from a buddy. $5 just to win 30, keep you above water. And it's 2 for 2, the last game playing right now. So
This is how it starts, Coop. This is how it
Big boy,
starts.
you should help your freaking cousin out, man. He's in
Hey,
trouble.
man, I
feel like you've been there, done that before.
I've been there, done that, yeah. And I got kind of back into it. And hey, man, just don't put no more on it. Don't start,
I'm
selling blood
listen,
to fucking,
no. I told you I was literally about to be done, and then I hit those.
That's how it always goes. Just
So,
one more hit of crack. That's it. I'm just gonna hit the crack one more time. I'm gonna be good. I swear.
Well,
That's how it rolls.
The thing is with the parlays, they add you up.
Get that juice going.
They add you up some nice money. I mean, I was down to like $20, and then I got up to 200.
And how many of them parlays have you won?
3 now.
Out of
a lot.
But to be honest,
that's
like
why
I'm up
parlays are a sucker bet. That's literally what real guys say.
doubt.
Parlays are suckers bets.
I'm up to $200 in the account, and I've probably put in only 200, honestly. So
yeah,
I'm probably at even if I was to cash out, but that's no fun, right? But that's the college weekend. We'll be locked into it. A little sports roundtable trio edition announcements, though, guys. I mean, we got some exciting things coming. The merch, we're going to be showing y'all soon. We're waiting for ours to come in first so we can deck that out. We got our boy Eric. He's going to be getting one too. We're going to be decked out in that. And then once we get that, we're going live with the merch. So everyone watching, make sure when that merch comes live, hopefully in a little under a month, hopefully, that will go live, along with a new website's coming soon where we're going to have everything on there. Anything you want from the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition is going to be on there. Easy to find. All the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and of course the merch is going to be on there. And we're also going to be having a new edition. We're going to be having a blog section on there to where you can send in your questions, or we're going to have Ella. She's going to recap our videos. She's a good writer. She's going to recap our videos and post those out as well if you're a reader. So we're going to have that. And then next week, we got a special guest coming on. Big time guest, guys. Big time. We won't say who it is yet, but make sure you tune into that for next week's Sports Roundtable. But looking on the NFL, we got any matchups or stuff y'all coming into this
I'm gonna
weekend?
give my Texans and
let's do Longhorns in the NFL. What do you got?
Yeah. I got Deshaun Jameson. He had 2 kickoff returns for 40 yards. He had 1 tackle and 1 special teams.
I can't believe in the NFL. Oh my goodness,
Crazy.
I hate
It's great though. He was good, man. I thought he should have kept returning kicks last year. I just think they were they a lot more, but he did some damage on special teams.
Yeah.
PJ Locke, 7 tackles, 1 sack, 1 QB hurry, 1 pass defended, 1 forced fumble. He had a game. Big DT Malcolm Roach, 6 tackles, 1 pass defended. And then Bijan, they finally fed him.
Finally.
He had 16 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown, and then 3 receptions for 32 and a touchdown. So
there you go. Keep giving him the ball, man. You gotta keep giving him the ball at the end of the day.
And giving the ball out of the backfield too. That man's a damn receiver. That touchdown, that route he had on that touchdown catch.
Yeah.
Ain't no linebacker in the league is stopping that. I promise you. But Seahawks first drive, 3rd and goal on the 5. Let's see. Play action. Geno Smith. Oh, not even touched. Runs it in for a touchdown. Oh my God. He goes over to the Salvation Army. Oh no.
He went to the Salvation Army? No, that's bad luck. He's gonna get it now. He's fucking with people.
Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
There you go. That's what you get. Go fuck with it. You don't fuck with the Salvation Army kettle, man.
Oh, it's on the Cowboys. It's on the Cowboys. Holding
Big boy,
on
let's
the
go.
defense.
We gotta wrap this up. Big boy needs to go watch that game.
Yeah, I got a phone call I need to make real quick, man. I got blown up. Hey,
go
man,
call Jerry
let's go
Jones, man.
Longhorns. Let's
go Louisville.
Let's go Louisville.
It's a big weekend. It's a big weekend.
I hope our Tuesday is a glorious day.
Hopefully hopefully it's a good Tuesday on the edge, and hopefully we're not on the edge. Right?
When do they come out with that?
It's Sunday, right?
11:15.
We may need to get a live reaction for y'all.
Bowl games come out Sunday at 1:30. So by Tuesday's on the edge, make sure y'all tune in. We'll be talking about whether Texas is in the playoff or New Year's 6, or if they somehow lose this weekend. Probably neither. So, but that is all the time we have for you today on the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We're almost at that 100 subscribers. We want it.
Come on, tell your friends. Tell your
We
friends.
want
Just
it, man.
Get on your daughter's or your sister's account, whatever, and just subscribe for it, man. That's,
go follow
like
the
and
Instagram.
subscribe. Come
Go
on,
follow
man.
the Twitter. We're trying to carry this in heavy running into 2024. It's going to be a big year for the trio. We got some good things coming. We're pumped for it, but don't forget to, what do they got to do?
Ring that bell. Subscribe, and ring that bell.
Ring that bell. But remember, guys, it's not about the score. It's about how much money you got on the game, and that counts as tonight.
Don't lose all your money, like Kate.
Hook 'em. Let's go.
But that's all the time. We appreciate y'all tuning in for this shit show we call a podcast. Peace.